everybody. This is the James Young High School Mario Kart Tournament 2025, and these will be the teachers' races. I'm here today with Mr. Menzies.
Hello, Ryan. Excited to be here.
Excited to be here indeed. I'm your host, Ryan Walker. And in this first race, we have Maths versus English. Mrs. Gripton and Mr. Toman versus Mr. Whelan and Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, slightly new format this year with the teams dynamic.
Yeah, so it was quite an interesting idea. It's much easier to organise, I'll tell you what.
Well, that's good to hear. It'll be interesting to see, will the teachers go all out for themselves, or will they be supportive of each other and try and get the best finish possible?
We'll see. It looks like Mr. Tobin and Miss Gripton are making up the mid-pack right now. Mr. Whelan has pulled ahead alongside Mr. Edwards.
Very much front-running. Mr. Edwards, the unique combination of Bowser, big heavy character there, so there must be a lot of confidence there.
That he just doesn't know what he's on about. Possible.
But they're sort of harder to handle in the game, aren't they?
Yep. A lot harder to knock around, but a lot harder to turn, a lot harder to drift.
Yes.
He looks like he's doing well, though. He's coming from second behind Mr. Whelan. He's got his horn.
4th and 5th for English. Also a pretty strong start from our teachers here.
Indeed.
Mr. Tillman, mushrooms. Not really many shortcuts to take on this track.
No, they're coming from the second lap now.
I've not seen many people run into the clock hands. That's always a big perilous point here as Mr. Edwards goes by. Does he clear them? Yes, he does.
He does. I always bump into one of those. I think I can make it. I think I can make it. No, I can't.
Clumsy move. I know that Miss Gripton's been having some practice. She has the game at home. So it'll be interesting to see if that experience goes well.
It looks like she's managing to keep up quite well, not falling behind too far, but it still feels like...
Oh, I did not know. Did you see the Billet Bill knock?
Yeah, it does that. You can do that with Star as well.
Can you?
Yeah.
I did not know that. You learn something new every day.
Right.
At the teacher races here at James Young High School.
Never miss a chance to
Mr. Whelan has lost the lead to Mr. Edwards. That won't have gone down too well, I don't imagine.
But they're both in maths.
That is true. Team game.
Yep. It's all numbers at the end of the day, and they're both good at that.
Mr. Toman chasing them down as best he can. 3rd and now into 4th after the shock.
Yep. Oh, he's into 3rd.
Is that Mrs. Gripton that put the shock? Oh no,
it might have been
further behind.
Miss Gripton is pulling up again. Oop.
Mr. Whelan's fallen off there, Ryan.
A wee bit of a tumble for Mr. Whelan, but it looks like Mr. Edwards is picking up the slack a bit.
Indeed, that'll make it very difficult for him to catch Mr. Edwards.
All points for the maths department.
Indeed.
It looks like Mr.
Toman's fallen off.
Guys, I'm moving this side a bit because I can't see Miss Gripton's name. But no, it looks like they're all doing pretty well. Miss Gripton had a good recovery in the second half, didn't she?
Again, it's been quite consistent here. Mr. Edwards across the line to win.
Yep, and Mr. Whelan is pulling up now. He's inked, but he's still here. With but a single coin.
1-2 for maths there. Well done to them.
Looks like, another fall from Mr. Toman.
Oh, Miss Gripton's taken over.
And they're both...
No coins.
That last minute bullet bill. So close yet so far. So it's looking like a good start for the math department, but we'll see what happens in the next few races.
So what would your prediction have been, Ryan? Would you have put maths down as the more competent Mario Karters than the English department?
Mr. Whelan has been begging me to sign him up for another race.
He is a very competitive Mario Karter.
Very competitive, yes. It looks like Mr. Edwards has forgotten his buttons for a second.
After being so good in the last round, Ryan.
I know, right? It's almost as if he's an entirely different person.
He's gone back round. What could have happened?
I wonder what's going on in the background.
I'm sure there'll be some commenters that'll be curious about it. But Mr. Whelan leading from the front again.
Mr. Toman and Miss Gripton are catching up though.
She crashed into one of the Goombas? The mushroom? Not the mushrooms?
It's the Goombas. Yeah, they have Goombas down here, don't they?
Yes. It's very difficult playing on 4-player. Your screen is so small.
Well, yeah, but we have the big smartboard, so it makes it a lot easier. Like, I remember... I used to have to do it at my house with my siblings. Terrible experience.
So you're giving these teachers no excuses, Ryan?
Aye, no excuses. Yeah. You've all had warning, you've all had practice, and yet some of you still forget to show up.
Oh, no. Again, it's an optional tournament for our teachers. We all just want to get involved and have a bit of fun.
But it's all for fun.
I think they're stacking up quite well compared to some of the pupil efforts that I've seen.
Oh, don't even get me started on those guys. But it looks like Miss Gripton and Miss Toman are doing quite alright.
Mr. Edwards is coming back now as a double item box, so really getting the hang of things on this track.
But it still looks like he's hanging... We won't point any fingers. We might point some fingers. Maybe later.
Yes.
Don't have time for that right now.
Did try and edit most of these out, but apparently didn't get round to them all. Mr. Edwards on the bullet now.
Mr. Tobin in second.
Yeah.
He's catching up, but it looks like Mr. Whelan has a suitable lead that you can see on the map.
Quite far ahead. Again, Mrs. Gripton, nice and consistent, not making any mistakes there.
Yep. Mr. Tobin just fell, but it looks like he's trying to get himself back.
Oh, good. A little bit of braking going on. The drift mechanic, that's definitely the separation between very good players and good players, isn't it?
And you've seen all the pro players, and it's just like... I've seen one trick on a certain map where you have to pause, turn on auto steering, and then turn off auto steering before you hit the ground, just so you can jump.
Maybe that's what someone was trying earlier in the race with the pause. But
I'm sure he was, yeah.
we don't know who it was. Oh, Mrs. Gripton's missed the wall.
Not pointing any fingers.
Oh, straight into the goodbye. Oh, she's missed the gap in the fence. That is a good gap to go for.
It's an excellent shortcut.
Not when you don't have any boost, though.
Not when you don't have any boost, no. Looks like Mr. Whelan, his lead is diminishing. Oh, would you look at that, sir? Here it comes. The equalizer.
What is it? The bullet bill?
Blue shell.
Oh, the blue shell. It's what we love to see.
Oh, he has the iframes though. You see that?
Yeah,
he hit a banana, then he got hit by the blue shell. We didn't get as long stunned.
Right. Oh!
No pointing any fingers.
Oh dear, I think Mr. Edwards is a bit confused there.
A bit.
Interesting character choice from English as well. We've got Donkey Kong for Mr. Toman. Very popular character. I think they're changing his appearance to be more like it was in the movie.
Oh yeah, you've seen, it does look very wide.
Yes, we'll need to see how that comes in Mario Kart.
I'm interested to see how it turns out, because 24-player Mario Kart just sounds chaos.
I mean, we do
thinking of adding voice chat.
We do have 8 controllers for like Smash Bros and things, so it'd be interesting if they developed that. Mr. Whelan across the line in first.
Mr. Tobin. Oh,
what
Mr.
is
Tobin.
He doing?
He's throwing.
What's
He's throwing
he
for
doing?
English.
Oh, he's throwing away points, places. Look at that. Mrs. Gripton comes through again.
Good work, Miss Gripton. She's remained consistent throughout the race.
Consistency is key, Ryan. Yep. And that's where maths are sort of losing a little bit now. First and 10th.
Aye, but if Mr. Whelan keeps coming consistently in first, then...
I believe during this match he was shouting instructions to try and help Mr. Edwards out. Some mentioned that it would be brought up in the end of year review for the maths department as well, so...
in his Whelan ways.
Indeed. So well done. 27 points, Mr. Whelan. Mrs. Gripton up in 5th there.
Miss Gripton and Mr. Edwards are neck and neck. It looks like he's going to drag a bit.
Yes. Oh no, not this one. This is the volcano track, isn't it?
Grumble Volcano, I think?
Grumble Volcano.
Burnout from Mr. Whelan.
They obviously haven't watched the SharePoint instructional video, Ryan.
You had an instructional video?
Yes, from the eSports committee. I've put together a wee tips and tricks.
We have?
Yes, of course. You accelerate as soon as the 2 sort of disappears, isn't it? That's where you get the best boost.
Yep. Oh, Miss Gripton with a backdraft.
Oh, yeah, very good. Up to 2nd. It's one of the highest places I've seen Mrs. Gripton so far.
If she can consistently stay there, we'll all be good.
Not too many mistakes.
Oh, looks like Mr. Whelan's coming back, clawing his way back into first.
Yep, definitely a front runner all the way. Challenge with this track, of course, is there's quite a lot of evolution. It changes quite a bit, doesn't it?
It means like fall apart.
Oh, there's a volcano eruption. Already putting some fireballs on the circuit. Can we avoid them? Yes, Mr. Toman, Mr. Gripton.
Wonder how they build these things.
Indeed.
Like, which civil engineer just decided, we'll put one in the middle of a volcano. Well, they'll love it.
Mr. Edwards is certainly getting a lot of experience with the lava at the moment. Oh, no, not again! 3 in a row.
I mean, this was during like February, so maybe it would have been a bit cold. I can understand that.
Maybe.
Get warmed up.
Again, good team play from the English department, staying close together in formation.
And meanwhile, Mr. Whelan and Mr. Edwards are opposite ends.
They couldn't be further apart, indeed. Golden straight back into the lava. That seems to be very much the theme of this game.
Looks like Mr. Tolman's trying to gain back a lead. Ooh, the shock.
There's been a shock every game so far, hasn't there?
Oh yeah, there's maybe one every game, isn't there? It's maybe more of a balancing. It's kind of like the blue shell, where it's more of a balancing act.
All right. Oh, Mr. Edwards is off again. Dear me, I think
he's trying his best.
We need some more walled tracks, don't we?
He's trying his best.
Yes, exactly. That's what we like to see.
This isn't bowling. We can't just put the bumpers up for everyone.
I think there was a bowling competition recently. I don't know the results of that. Yes, but
we have bowling.
Yeah, bowling. Well, not in the school, but at a separate bowling location. Oh, last lap. Is it last lap?
Aye, that's last lap. Mr. Whelan's final lap.
Sorry, he got caught in the line there. He's not as far ahead as he was last time. So
no, it's certainly a lot closer.
He's fallen off.
Into the lava he goes.
The green shell just missed. Protective banana holding it behind him there.
He blocks it.
Isn't that the worst? When you're in second place, you've got your red shell and it makes no difference to the
Oh,
person.
no, I
in
never
first
get the
at all.
red shell. It's always like, oh hey, you want the red shell? Too bad. 2 bananas. Take it or leave it.
You always want the offensive characters. Another red shell, but he's got another banana. He is invincible, it would seem, in this race, Ryan.
Should have seemed like it. He's taking that lead again.
Oh, Mrs. Gripton looks like she's getting a bit lost there. Turning right.
Yeah, it's always this map that people have trouble on.
Oh, falling off the edge. That whole sequence here through these 2 bends is catching a lot of people out.
Yep, and it looks like Mr. Whelan is crossing the line first once again.
Congratulations.
And we have everyone else in...
It's very close. Mr. Edwards is just behind Mr. Tobin, but the lava strikes again.
Lava strikes. He loves the lava.
Yes.
Real lava man. There he goes again.
Oh, it's good grief. Mr. Tobin comes across the line in 7th.
Not bad, not bad. Miss Gripton in 11th. And
I think it's comprehensively Mr. Edwards in 12th. He's off again. Oh,
this is all just for fun.
Yes, yes indeed. Well done, Mr. Edwards. 12th place across the line there.
I was going to say it could be worse, but...
So it's Mr. Whelan in first with 42, Mr. Tobin in second with 19, and then Mrs. Gripton and Mr. Edwards both on 18.
They're tying. Alright, this will be the final race. I believe this is Rainbow Road.
Quite a lot of points for the English department to overhaul maths with Mr. Whelan's individual efforts here.
Well, we'll see. It's all a numbers game at the end.
Oh, look at that. We got a few good boost starts there.
Alright, Mr. Edwards got his buttons once again though, but it looks like Mr. Tobin is coming up hot on Mr. Whelan's tail.
So this is good because obviously everyone's kind of got the hang of it by now.
Yep.
They got used to the controls, so this is really the best shot. We have to see what everyone's capable of.
What's interesting about this map is that this is one of those... It's not really a lap map, it's more of a one long thing, you know?
Yes.
So
one long lap, right?
Yeah,
yes.
one long lap. So...
It's not a circuit as such, yes, I know what you mean.
So this actually... It helps and it doesn't help in a lot of ways, because it makes bananas practically useless, and he has to use them for defense, because no one's driving there again, are they?
Yes. Yeah, it's much more of a sprint there. Mr. Edwards again getting caught up on the items. That seems to be the Achilles heel there.
Yeah. But it looks... Ooh. Double hit on Mr. Tobin and Mr. Whelan.
Well, Mr. Tobin takes the lead.
Good for him.
Double item box there. Is he going to crash into the balloon? No, he misses it.
Ooh.
Is that a balloon?
That's a chain chomp.
A chain chomp, okay. Oh no, you're joking! Mr. Tobin gets blue shelled, and of course, Mr. Whelan. But Mrs. Gripton's right there.
Ooh.
On the tail, I've got my eyes to the top left of the screen, which has now been entirely covered. Thank you, Mr. Edwards, for that.
Ask not for whom the bell tolls, sir.
Yes,
always
indeed.
a blue shell.
So we're on to the third sequence now.
Yep, final lap. Miss Gripton doesn't have anything on offense, but that mushroom could prove useful.
Oh, use the boost. I can see Mr. Whelan on the screen. What a great victory it would be to finish this off.
Here's the item set. Oh, and Mr. Tobin gets nothing.
I'm assuming there was some communication there to make sure there was no contact.
Oop.
Again.
Ooh. Shock just as the items come across. This is looking bad for Mr. Whelan. If he can make it across the finish line, then he should be golden, but... And neither of the English creatures got a red shell.
Brave star boost. Oh, I was worried about that. Mrs. Gripton falling off the outside there. Throws the green shell just to try and rescue something.
Aye. It's all over for the English department.
Mr. Tobin saying Mrs. Gripton third, their best result so far.
Just a little bit too little, bill too late.
I know. And after that win, Mr. Edwards coming through in 7th for that final race.
Could have been worse.
So what are the final scores on the doors there, Ryan?
Final score, 57 for Mr. Whelan, a
31 for Mr. Tobin, 28 for Mrs. Gripton,
and 24 for Mr. Edwards. Looks like an easy win for maths. We will see you in the final.